Okay, welcome back, guys. Well, today we have a few topics lined up. I promise it's going to be very interesting. The first topic that we have today is going to be Kamaru Usman, his visit to Nigeria, and what he had done in Nigeria and what it means to Nigeria, basically. So Kamaru Usman, one of the biggest news out of his travels is that he helped set up a gym in Lagos State University, which was widely reported. And the MMA gym, there was a foundation that was laid, and well, apart from that, there was also the show. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Anyways, so there was a big MMA event, the first pro MMA event, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a success. If you did not catch our review about it, we did a review, me, myself, and Farouk sometime last week. But what you don't know is that Mayua was there front and live. He watched everything in person. He met Kamaru Usman in person, and yeah, we would hear a bit of that from Mayua himself. But before we revisit the review of the MMA Pro event, Mayua, can you please tell me what you think about the impact of what Kamaru Usman is doing, or what Kamaru Usman has done to collaborate with the uh, Lagos State University, right? LASU, right? Or was it LSU?
No, so last week it's Unilag. This is Unilag.
Oh, sorry, it's Unilag, University
This is
of
of Lagos.
Lagos.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what would you say? How did that catch you in by surprise, or did you know it was going to happen? How calculated is the move? I just want to hear your thought around the whole
Um,
development.
it's tricky because I'm happy that Usman is in Nigeria. Obviously, I'm happy that he was here and he's trying to expand because he's genuinely trying his best to do things that will set up the future talent in MMA in Nigeria here. Um, I think that his idea of because I watched as well when he explained his reasoning behind going to Unilag on with Harris's podcast, with Harris's page. There's the Anatomy of a Fighter, the Motherland Diaries. He was explaining that in America they have college sports, college football, college basketball, whatever, and that's why like American players in their sports had to beat globally. So if you think about the Olympians and like, American Olympians, every American sport, they always have guys at the highest level, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the Olympics, they win the most medals, they're the best in basketball, things like that, and it's because they start playing in a in a in a in a competitive setting from like from young to the secondary school to university, right? So his idea
Mm-hmm.
with Unilag was to do it in a way where like the students when they go to school they can train MMA so that they can kind of have a so they can kind of develop that talent and develop competition from when they're in school. The issue with that is it, in America there's a feeder system. So you start from like I think it's called QE
Mm-hmm.
when you're like 7 or 8. Something like if you follow football in the UK as well. There's like under 10s, under 12, under 9s, under 7, to under 15, 16, 19, 21, before you get to
Mm-hmm.
the first team. So that system is more holistic from when you're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, all the way to when you become a pro. I think it's tricky for him to start in Unilag because those guys are already, I mean, they're still young enough to enter the sport, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that for me, his interest. It's a good idea, open the space, and I hope that he open that space and there's a gym there because so that people can come and use the space. But I think that he has to focus on it very heavily so that people can be attracted to do MMA. I think that's the key is people need to actually be attracted enough to go to the gym and say, hey, I want to train MMA, I want to fight, I want to I want to learn my striking, jiu-jitsu, things like that. And they have to have coaches that are dedicated as well that will be coaching at those gyms because the building itself is just a building until there's what makes it the gym is the coaches that are there and the training that is there that they can get. So I think it's still to be seen how it will play out. I like the idea. Um, I feel like he could have done a bit of a more grassroots campaign that will target a different demographic of people.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's still good. I did it. It's a great idea, great. I just hope that it works out and it can follow it up effectively, so that we can start getting those talents developed as soon as we can.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you a question real quick about the Nigerian factor. Me and you were both Nigerians, and we do know that things don't really go as smoothly as we always assume them to go. So in the sense that
Right.
there we saw some bricks that were laid out, and I know
I
how.
think that brick was, to be fair, it looked like it looked ceremonial. I don't think
Yeah,
that was
it's
original.
ceremonial. Yeah. So
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
I
any.
was
It
trying to
wasn't
get to
actual. Yeah.
that. I saw some bricks
Sorry.
were laid
Sorry.
out, and then we do know that the Nigerian factor can easily kill your morale or your motivation when you want to actually set up something. You understand? So,
Right.
do you think that Kamaru Usman and his team, they are determined enough to ignore the Nigerian factor and make this MMA gym a success?
Truly, if you ask me my thoughts right now, and you know me and you, we have spoken about these things, and I've been very vocal about my reservations about the whole thing that has been like with his trips and coming back to Nigeria and things like that. I think if Usman went to the national team wrestling coach,
Mm-hmm.
right, went to the boxing gyms, and from there he brought them together and started the MMA gym, that's better because I've been, I've been heavily into the boxing in Nigeria now. I'm going to meet with the wrestling coach as well in a few weeks, in a few days, while I go back to Canada. These guys are passionate about like their sports individually. I think what Usman should focus on doing was bringing those guys together, the wrestling, the boxing, the kickboxing. Those guys have a very strong passion for their individual disciplines. I think going to do a new separate thing is going to make the job harder, and he needs a lot of morale to be able to follow through with what his plan is now. Um,
So sorry to
and
cut you off,
hopefully I
but
can
are you
follow through.
thinking?
I'm
Are
not
you think?
I'm not confident.
Yeah. So
Sorry, go on.
are you thinking that like in the, let's assume that the gym is actually standing in Unilag, right? So do you think there would be a barrier where the actual people that are motivated to join MMA would have some interference with the facility rather than like students that might
Sure.
not be too interested? So do you think there will be something like that going on?
I think so. I think, man, thank God you're Nigerian as well. So the bureaucracy is too much here. So I feel like you end up being more than what it's supposed to be. That's what I'm saying. The key for him is to put competent people that the key is passion. And even with the MMA, like with the fighting, like, which we'll get to later, it's passion. If people are passionate about the sport, the people that he puts in charge, if they have passion about the sport, then they'll try their best to make it work. But if you guys are just administrators, like all those guys that were with him that did the thing, I don't think any of them is an MMA fan or a passionate MMA person. So they're just like maybe the vice chancellor of the school, people that are more focused on academics, right? So I don't know if guys like that can run a gym, right? So it will be down to who he gets to run the project for him here and what passion do they have. There's guys that I know in Nigeria, even you guys as well, they're very passionate about MMA, and those kind of guys, if they're in charge of those kind of things, their passion will shine through because and even the financing as well. I don't know who's going to finance the continuous, the continuous management of the gym. Is it Unilag that's financing it? Is it Usman that's financing it? Those are things that we can't answer right now. We have to see how it plays out. So it's going to be very tricky for it to play out going forward. We'll see.
Okay. Okay, we just hope for the best. Well, it's a very, very welcome development. I never thought about it, but if you would ask me, honestly, I feel like this is something that could be a genuine window for Nigerians. So here's the thing: Nigerians do love football, for example, soccer, as Americans call it. And whenever they hear that there is a scout in this uni or there is a link from this uni to go out and play football, probably play in Europe, they would flock into getting admissions into those uni and give their all so they can actually do go to these places. So I kind of feel like maybe this would actually, if there's actually a solid program and that solid program has a linkage between here and say maybe MMA promotions like UFC, Bellator, or whatever, maybe that would motivate young Nigerians into getting admitted into those universities, or in this sense Unilag, so they'll probably get a linkage and they will get into the studio, into the gyms and actually work their asses off. I feel AKO has a big part to play in this. Whereas if people actually go to the gym and train, they would actually have a pro MMA that would probably be broadcasted on TV or whatever to go and actually showcase their skills. So I feel like MMA, AKO, and the gym, they would have to go hand in hand. Well, for Kamaru Usman, who I would say he doesn't really owe us too much. I'll commend him for the efforts that he has made in trying to well, we don't know the how deep the collaboration is between him and the AKO guys. He always says his partners, right? He always says his partners, and then we know that AKO existed before Kamaru Usman came to put his hand in. I don't know who are these the same partners that these partners that he's saying, are they the same people that were running season one of AKO? Are they?
No, they
Why is like your connection broke? When I said that they the same people, you were about to say something, then it broke. What did you say?
yeah, they are the same people. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, yeah, okay, so they are the same guys. So well, if they are indeed the same guys, those guys seem like they are passionate about the sport. In Even though we have a lot of questions about the season one of AKO, they have announced that they will do season two, which sounds like they don't intend on doing monthly shows or weekly shows. They want to do the series, the reality
The
TV.
tough,
Eh,
the tough style
yeah, yeah.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyways, that's my 2 cents about the whole thing. And shout out to Kamaru Usman. And
Shout out to him, man. Listen,
mhm.
we're happy that he's coming here, and we hope that other African and Nigerian fighters can come as well. I hope that I can motivate everybody to come back, because at the end of the day, no matter what we say about how like the long term effects or whatever, I think him coming to Nigeria and starting something is very, very incredible, and just being part of those things at this stage, no matter whether he knows or he doesn't know the advice or whatever, the fact that he has come here and he has done it, that's is a big, big, big jump for us. So, we hope that more people can be motivated to come back like this.
Okay, so before we turn another page, I would just quickly talk to you about your experience because I know you were there at the Face Off Fight Night last week. I think this time last week you were there shouting to the top of your lungs, basically by cage side. So, what would you say was the experience? Maybe I would say you've been in an MMA fight before when you were in the America or in Canada. So compared to the atmosphere in Continental Hotel in Lagos, what would you say the atmosphere was like? Although we know Nigerians are not very MMA smart, but did you think like they understood what was going on? How would you say the experience was?
I think the people were very engaged, surprisingly. Were very engaged. Surprisingly engaged. Like they were like cheering. They enjoyed the wrestling. Surprisingly, like when it was like they was cheering for takedowns constantly. Like when there was a takedown, they would cheer. Um, but I feel like people saw it as more of, how if you see like I don't want to call it a freak show, something you've not seen before that is exciting to you. Like they were just like two men fighting live. It's always exciting to see, whether you're a fan or you're not a fan. But I think people were very engaged. Surprised people were very into like the fights. Um, Very good atmosphere. The fights were actually very solid quality. Like those guys have good skills. Obviously, they can develop more and more over time, but they have very good skills. And it was a good showcase, man. And the production was very good. Um, I saw the live stream wasn't the best, but it was solid. And at least I could see the fight at least on the live stream because I saw the live stream before I left the house. Um, but the live event, the production of the live event was very, very solid. There was, as usual, for a first event like that, there was one or two mishaps that could have been better. Uh, but yes,
Okay. Okay, so but you were there, and then there is this tweet that you had that got popular before the event. So it was before the event you were trying to get a ticket to go to the show, and you tweeted that the ticket cost for over 100,000 naira for one ticket, basically 100,000 naira for one ticket. That was the lowest you saw. So
right.
so what do you also complained about you were not very happy about the how expensive the ticket was. Do you still
Right.
share the same sentiment of how expensive the ticket was? Are you still would you say you still complained about that?
Of course, I do. A lot of people that came to that event were guests. You could tell they were guests. I don't think that a lot of people actually paid that money to come to the event. Um, I think a lot of those guys were guests and they were like celebrities that came because of Usman, things like that. So the price, bro, even at that price, like even if you convert it to dollars, even with our bad Nigerian currency exchange, nobody pays $200 or $180 for a ticket. Like average person doesn't pay that money for UFC fights. And UFC is a major promotion with superstar athletes. These are guys that are unknown. It's first time. You can't charge that kind of money in the country where people are making 30,000 naira minimum wage, per month. 100,000 naira is too much. It's too much. And we're giving out I think the tickets came with free food, all this good stuff, which is, listen, man, I still feel the same way I feel about the tickets. You have to. And again, like I said, I watch a lot of boxing events. When I go to boxing fights, I pay 1,000 naira for a ticket. I went to 4 or 5 events of boxing. This when I've been down here, and the tickets are 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, affordable. The regular people can come and watch. You know what I'm saying? These guys, their families. I don't think their families could have come and watch them fight because they can't buy. The guys that are fighting, the fighters cannot buy those tickets and come and watch. I mean, their families can't buy those tickets and watch them fight. So, who are you targeting? Is a sport that how much are they paying the fighters for them to charge 100,000? So the price point was too high, but I feel like they were targeting a very high-end celebrity audience because maybe they want to attract new sponsors and things like that. So maybe that's what the plan was.
Okay, so but when we posted when we posted your tweet on our page, in the comment section, somebody said that due to the fact that the stream is free, you understand, there's a free live stream, and probably the venue being small, they probably just thought they should just max out the ticket price so they could have enough people in there, and also people at home that didn't get to come to the show can actually watch live. What would you say when there's that counter argument?
Listen, man, people have come. Like if you say YouTube, if you saw the YouTube live stream, because I was there early as well in the beginning, a lot of people were commenting on how they wanted to come to the event, fight itself, and they could not pay the ticket price. So it was clear that the money was too much, right? Secondly, you have to understand what it is. You are showcasing something like first time in Africa. It's not you can't make money on first event anyway, regardless of what you try to do. You can't make money on first event. They already have sponsors. You want people to get into the sport. You want the sport to grow in the country, right? You have the live stream, that's good, but people should be able to come there. The hotel they did it at was a very high level hotel. Like this is one of the most expensive hotels in the country. So even to come there, you have to dress up looking nice because the people look at you someone when you're coming to because when you enter that kind of hotel, you have to look. People they judge you by how you look because it's a high class hotel, right? And that's what they did the event. So it was clearly targeted towards high brow people, right? Which you have to push towards the average. I mean, the average regular Nigerian being.
Okay. So piggyback on what you said about getting access into the hotel.
Sorry, by the way, remember that in Nigeria, a lot of people can't afford to stream.
Yeah. Wait. So to piggyback on how to get access into the venue, I do remember that you were on a mission to meet Kamaru Usman, and you were on a mission onto the fact that you were even added to the list of the media guys there. So even with the fact that you were added onto the media, the list of the media guys, did you easily get access, or how would you compare it to a regular Nigerian getting access in there?
So first of all, I wasn't even on the list. So I just went there because I know how these events are very tricky. Like that. So Will was supposed to get us in and put our name on the list. He said to come at the second time. I didn't come at that time because I was busy doing something else. So when I got there, my name wasn't on the list. But I just told them, listen, I'm pressed. I just told them I had my camera guy there with me. I said, listen, we're pressed. We're covering the events. We're giving we're here to give Usman an award, which is you guys' award, and we're also here to cover the event and take pictures for our blog and our website, which are Combat Sports Africa focused, right? So I think I convinced them, and to be fair to them, I think nobody. The good thing about them and all these events that nobody. You want as much media as you can get. So you have that event, you have a camera, you are taking pictures, you're going to put it on your page on Instagram or social media. Anything that can give them more visibility, they are open to to supporting. So I think that when we just don't listen, we are doing press. We're not here to get the free tickets. We want to take pictures and cover the event and report on the event. And they were happy to and also give Usman the award as well. I think they were convinced to just get the person. So it was 2 of us that went there.
Okay.
We found our way to get in.
Okay, brilliant. All right, so enough chat about Usman in Nigeria. That was thank you so much, Mario, for sharing the story. But we would also revisit you meeting Usman face to face and shaking his hand. So we would ask you what that feels like some other time.
Thank you guys for supporting the African fighters. Please click on the subscribe button so that you will be informed whenever we post a video. And also show us support, take us to 1,000 subscribers. We really appreciate all the support, all the love. Thank you.
Come on, Africans!